real, the terrain theory. I was like, man, shorty, you crazy as fuck.
Right. Super crazy.
Like you super crazy, yo. I'm gonna talk about Civil War medicine.
Oh man, that barbaric shit.
Right? That's the kind of community taking us to back to the Civil War, back past the motherfucking Civil War.
Right, right.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Niggas gotta resort to barbarism.
They in barbarism, yo. They don't respect the disease theory. Wow.
Yeah, I don't even understand that joint either.
Yes, you do. You sure as hell do.
Oh damn! They said Wendy Williams got hospitalized for psychiatric evaluation. That bitch been nuts.
Yeah, we knew that was coming. That was easy to see.
Yeah, yeah. Your boy Farrell came back down to earth a little bit. He started to clear up from the fog. He's still batshit crazy, but it ain't. You know what I mean? Slipping with reality and all that shit. But he was out of here a week ago. I was like, damn. That's crazy.
Yo, them shrooms.
Yeah. Whatever that cocktail was, had him looking bad. He was in a sunken place.
Shit. Oh man. He said he was in a sunken place. Well, I see you in Nusha.
Oh yeah.
I see you. 220 Love 07. See, the nastiest word is Aquafina, yo. I don't care what nobody say, yo.
What's that?
Aquafina is the nastiest word on earth.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dasani, Aquafina, all them shit's garbage.
Dasani a little bit better. It's still garbage though. It's straight.
Damn.
Yeah, I'd rather drink water out the faucet. I try to drink some water out the faucet at least once or twice a week too, though. Yeah, I know y'all.
Yeah. I'm drinking that tap water.
That's all we used to drink growing up. Now we
drink that. Right. I'll just put a filter on the sink and drink that tap.
Right, that makes sense. Catch a little bit of fluoride up, just a little bit. It's enough.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut down on my plastic consumption. I ain't trying to kill Mother Earth. You know what I mean? We be wilding out with that shit.
Yeah, Mother Earth gonna kill us, but we kill her.
Definitely. She gonna come. Oh yeah, she gonna come back with adventures on us.
Kill them humanoids, yo.
Yeah, get them up out of here.
777, Shoot Tech. What it do? What it do? What it do? Who the wife is he talking about? Who you talking about? Who you talking about, Shoot Tech? Who getting the pass, yo? I gives out no passes around here.
Who that?
Shoot Tech talking. I don't know what he's saying, yo.
Oh, that's Cedric in here. No, I heard the bell go off.
Robert Parrish in the building. Robert Parrish. Alexandria Davenport. See, whenever you say Alexandria Davenport, you got to say it like that, Davenport. You can't say it no way. Jamal Milton. That's it right, Jamal Milton.
Who the hell Sutek talking about? He said, dude, pseudocentric. What that mean? That's funny.
Dead Parks, Fuji water, I don't like Dead Park. I'm tired of that.
Killer. Pants.
What's good, Cedric?
Fuji water.
I'm good. How's everybody doing? How was your day?
No, we live. Get ready start kicking it, man.
Yeah, another day, another dollar.
Yeah, I've been working all day, fighting the pseudoism. It's as if everything we talk about on the channel comes back at me directly in my own community. I got this young lady selling teas, mucus removing tea, detox for the kidneys. Oh man. Yeah, so I've been going into the vaults, pulling up the data from my old videos. I've
Movie
been going
guy.
in all day. I've been going in all day. It's a constant battle fighting the pseudoism in the community, and it's you chop one head off, the next head pop right back up, saying the same old rhetoric.
Hey
Crazy.
man, listen, man. I've come to realize that the conscious community is practicing Civil War medicine. Like I just had to realize that. Like it just, you know what I'm saying? I think Concrete Corey said today. Who said that shit first? It was funny as hell on the variants.
Yeah. It was concrete.
Yeah, they taking us to the Civil War, yo. Yeah, it's a Civil War, yo. So let me pull this link up and see what the Civil War actually had. Let me show you what. Nah, man, we ain't gonna start rocking until we get at least 30 people. I'm not doing it, yo. Yeah, you better hit your friends up, pass the link on. That's what I need to do. I need to put the link in
Facebook. I always put the link in Facebook.
I don't need to do, yo. Civil War medicine, yo, in the conscious community, yo. I got people arguing with me over there thinking herbs and food can cause an immune response.
Yep.
Ah, the most nonsense, man. This dude say, so you telling me natural herbs from the earth don't cause an immune response in our bodies that came from this earth? Can you believe that? Oh, man, you hear me, Cedric? Cedric disappeared. Yep, this on that video. Let me go to that video and show you.
Oh, man.
Man, let me get here, man. Colorado. Let me show y'all what I mean, yo. This is fun here.
I heard you, Unc, but I was sharing the link. I muted my mic.
It's all good.
So we back at an immune response from herbs?
I mean, yo, I think they just don't understand how it works. We just got to keep pounding the fences, man. What I wanted to do was read some of these comments, and the comments show the ignorance. There's one guy in particular, like he just don't understand. So I want to make him famous in his not understanding. I always feel like it's a good thing to do to make you famous. See if I,
which way? Famous or infamous, you will be known.
So this guy say, tell on to get some reading comprehension and learn to understand what he is reading. Stop with the ghetto science. Okay, so I got the ghetto science. And he put me in there with Inky, like, dang, that's a heartbreaking comment right there. That break my heart. There's one thing I can do, I have excellent reading comprehension. It's one thing I've always had.
We saw a good example of what the lack of reading comprehension was the other night on Tahaka show. Because nobody would boomerang dagger themselves like that in a debate. That's a lack of reading comprehension.
Yeah, you got people crazy. You might say Salnetta was 33 with a 15-year-old girl. That's in the daggone, like that's a person name. Yeah, man, niggas is silly, yo. But you can't really feed into it because they just so gone, you know. All right, let me share the screen. I got it right here. Now, let me get them fools out of here real quick. Let me show you what we have. All right. It says, so you telling me natural herbs from the earth don't cause an immune response in our human bodies that came from the earth? So clearly here, this guy doesn't understand the immune system. I say, right, I'm telling you that herbs do not cause an immune response, right? So this guy just doesn't know how the immune system works.
First of all herbs are natural.
Right.
So,
hold on. Let me finish reading the comments. You get in. It say, how is that even logical, bro? You've got to be kidding. Shaking my head. Then he say that almost like me. What? That's almost like me telling you as a baby coming straight out your mother's womb that other milk and chemicals are more better for you than the natural milk and chemicals your mother produces naturally. I hit him with anytime you want to come on our show and prove your point, we will be glad to have you. Pseudo Killas on YouTube. Yeah,
let us first start with all the logical fallacies, the false dichotomy, equating the production of breast milk to the consumption of an herb. That's first. The misassumption that the herb being natural automatically means that it provides an immune response. An herb is a nutrition, it's a food. It feeds the cells, it carries minerals, it has active ingredients which play a role in overall health. We need food to fuel our bodies so that the natural functions can actually take place. However, the immune system has a very specific role in the body, which is to fight off pathogens, foreign objects, keep the environment the environment at bay. That's the function of the immune system. It has nothing to do with what you eat. It has to do with your body's a natural mechanism of defense, the mucous system, the skin, your innate immune response, your adaptive immune response. From your mother, you acquire passive immunity. These are two distinct subjects. They are not within the same paradigm. So us even having the discussion is a good way to debate, but it's not. It's two different paradigms. We're talking a biochemistry of the body versus nutrition. This, yeah, a false dichotomy to start with.
Yeah, that passive immunity coming from your mother, that doesn't last, neither.
No, it doesn't last. But we're talking about breast milk. Even in the breast milk, the nutrition still has a separate immune response within that whole concept, which is the passive immunity, which is passed from mother to baby for the first 6 to 8 months of the baby's life. But again, we're discussing the body's defense system versus nutrition. It's almost illogical to put the two in the same discussion.
That's a fact. So let me share my screen. All right, we're gonna do it one more time. Got 30 people, 29 people in the building. I'm not gonna share my screen. Man, waste of time, yo. They tripping. If I was cussing somebody out and putting Inky name in the title, yo, this shit.
Yep.
It's bullshit, man. And everybody want to talk that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? They want to actually talk that nonsense.
Yeah, it seems as if the conscious community is becoming the gossip community. It's about doxing people. It's about exposing this one, exposing that one. We are teachers on. That's what we do. We're going to continue to teach science-based, logical reasoning, and a sound approach to life. But this bashing and doxing people and exposing people. And that's in a paradigm all its own. If people want to be entertained, they can be entertained. If they want to be educated, we're the pseudo killers. That's what we do.
That's a fact, yo. That's a real fact. I'm trying to get you the daggone presentation here. Man.
Yeah, you gotta play that presentation.
Oh yeah, that was there. That dude was crazy, yo. I want to show you a slide on the immune system, man. Yeah, man. It's crazy, yo.
So yeah, I wake up today and I'm faced with the same arguments within my community, and with all the logical fallacies, appeal to tribalism. It's a us against them thing, because the authorities are stepping down on people who are selling products and making claims. If you are selling a product that is a mucus remover, you're a danger to the public health. Because if people start removing their mucus system, that means you're selling a product that is actually damaging your immune system.
But you can't. But there is no product that does that, though. Can we agree?
But these are the claims they're making.
Yeah, go figure that. They making claims that don't even work.
No active ingredient, no dosage, just tea in a bag with a label, kidney detox, mucus remover. What the hell? We're in the 21st century, and we got snake oil salesmen that are appealing to a tribal thing. We're all in this together. We're all Black people. We have a culture. We have a history. Okay. So does that mean I'm going to practice unsound medicine in the 21st century? I don't see the logic.
Seems like it. So here, right here, I'll show you the slide. Diet and immune function. Nutrients. All right. So that's all people got to do, just pull it up and actually read the real work on it, man. Okay, this is from the Human Development Health Facility of Medicine, University of Southampton. Okay. Abstract. A well-functioning immune system is critical for survival. The immune system must be constantly alert, monitoring for signs of invasion or danger. Cells of the immune system, so the immune system is made up of cells. The majority of it being in your gut. Let me finish. Cells of the immune system must be able to distinguish, watch this now, distinguish self from non-self. I'm gonna say it again, must be able to distinguish self from non-self. So Cedric was talking about how herbs is looked at by the body as food. Am I not right or wrong, Cedric?
That's a fact.
This is what y'all gotta get. Once again, herbs is looked at as food, nutrients to the body. Simple as that. Watch this. And furthermore, disseminate between non-self molecules, which are harmful, okay? Those from pathogens, and innocuous non-self molecules, okay? That's essential right there. So it's some critical things going on right here. And let me see if I could do this, maybe y'all could actually see. This might slow my damn computer down and mess it up and all that. Let me see if I can at least do this for y'all. Because this is important. Like, trust me with this. This is the crust of the conversation. This is it. Watch this again. I'm gonna do it again for y'all. Published in August 2019. It said, a well-functioning immune system is critical for survival. The immune system must be constantly alert, monitoring for signs of invasion or danger, because that's what your immune system do. It's always on the clock, right? You can't boost your immune system up. It's checks and balances. You can't do none of that. Okay? All right. Now, modern science still don't know everything about the immune system. So once again, y'all give modern science and modern medicine too much damn credit. There are plenty of diseases and plenty of things that we do not know about. As a matter of fact, there are diseases that y'all don't know about because y'all not in the medical profession that kill people all the time. And they have no idea what the hell it is. I just want to put that out there for y'all. But let me keep going. Cells of the immune system must be able to distinguish self from non-self. I explained self is everything that you're born with. When a newborn baby comes into the world, everything it has is considered self. Non-self is everything outside of you, whether that be a heart, a lungs, another leg, another foot, another finger, that the body recognizes it as non-self. That's why amputee patients or
transplant.
Huh?
Transplant patients.
Or transplant patients, right? Can, if you was to get a heart from somebody else, they got to give you immune suppressant drugs because your immune system will think that heart or that kidney will recognize it as non-self, but dangerous, and it will attack it. That's why they say your body has rejected the transplant. We can't use it.
Right.
Because the body recognizes it as non-self. Even if you should put another arm on somebody, right? The body can and will reject it. A finger, reject it. Okay? So now, watch this. So the immune system must distinguish self from non-self. Furthermore, disseminate between non-self molecules, which are harmful, like those of pathogens, and innocuous non-self molecules from food or herbs. This is the conversation that y'all need to be able to take back to the community. When people trying to talk that herb shit, tell them the molecules in herbs and food, the body recognizes it as innocuous, non-harmful. So it does not cause an immune response. Now, if you have an allergy to peanuts or shell food, then your immune system will react. But that means there's something wrong with your immune system. It's something out of tilted.
Yep. Then you get a histamine attack, which is a part of an immune reaction. But that says that your body has a problem. Your immune system is rejecting what it should see as innocuous, which is a food.
So if you're running around getting a daggone immune response as a food, it's something fucking wrong with you. Go to the doctors because you're in trouble. Now, I don't know how many times we have to say this over and over again, but I'm just trying to actually get y'all in that real and that serious space to be able to talk to the community, man. With that, man, let's start the show, man. Black African Power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's the Pseudo Killas on deck. And we come to do, we got to do, and we're going to do, we got to do. We standing tall, we standing strong. Pseudo Killas on deck. Hey, what's good with you? I'm Sosa. What it do? What it do? What it do? Pseudo Killer Official. What's good with you, bro?
Sure. What's up? What's up? What's up? Peace to the family. Peace to the panel. Shoot, man. Same thing we always do, man. Share information. Bang on pseudos, man, and correct misinformation.
Yeah, we taking them back to the basics today. Hey, Malcolm, man, Pseudo Killer Official, man. What it do? What it do? What it do? What's good with you, brother Malcolm?
Man, what's going on, good gentlemen, man? Same old, man. Watching the show. Hoping I can add some valuable input. Y'all been putting in work for a long time, man, especially this week. I finally got a chance to kind of check out some of the show that you had the other day, because I wasn't really sure what was going on yesterday. And man, you did real good in your presentation, man. You brought this science. So I'm just here to, hopefully add lib or add in some value input.
Appreciate that, bro. Hey, man, the mad scientist. You know what it is, Cedric, Pseudo Killer official, man. What's good with you, man? What it do? What it do? What it do?
Peace to the panel, peace to the chat, peace to the God Killer. Scientific literacy is the vaccine against the frauds, fakes, and scammers in our community. The pseudo killers is where the scammers and the fakes and the frauds come to die. Let's get it.
Let's get it in there. Hey, my main man, the shit talker and the shit starter, man. The source himself. He don't need no sources. Chef L, my man from B More. What it do, what it do, what it do, Chef L?
What's up, y'all? Definitely. I'm glad you clicked the show up tonight. I didn't think you was gonna click it up. So, I'm glad you clicked it up so we can get a little bit in. You know what I mean? I know it's late, but definitely up for the conversation. I'm glad you back on the topic. You know what I mean? Beating these pseudos over the head, informing our community that, with the best information to keep them healthy during the pandemic. And I think y'all doing an awesome job. So keep pushing.
Yeah, we're going to keep pushing. First up, man, let me give you something from our conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, medicine in an American Civil War. This is where the elders and the quote unquote witch doctors and the conscious communities want to take you to. So let's read it. It says, the state of medical knowledge at the time of the Civil War was extremely primitive. Extremely primitive. In the conscious community, they will try to confuse you and make you think that primitive is better.
Facts.
Doctors did not understand infection. I'm gonna say this again. Doctors did not understand infection and did little to prevent it. Oh, man. There's a reason why they didn't understand infection, because they didn't understand the germ theory.
And when was the Civil War? Look at this nigga. Go back up to the bit. This how old the Civil War. You see that nigga? They don't even make pictures like that no more. That might have been the first photograph ever. That's the Civil War era. So, man, go ahead, kill them niggas, man. This is where their medicine is stuck at.
Facts. Primitive.
Right.
Primitive.
Post-industrial.
Yeah. They didn't have the germ theory. They didn't have the germ theory at this point. We had no idea that pathogens was the cause of disease. We didn't have proper hygiene. They weren't washing their hands when they were doing surgery. They were infecting more people by taking care of them than not.
And everything was called the fever.
Yeah.
You died from a fever.
Consumption.
Okay, so 1861 to 1865. This is the medicine from 1861 to 65 that y'all trying to take us back to.
Yeah. Oh, so watch this. It was a time for antiseptics. Y'all know what an antiseptic is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right now, I'm gonna let you know before you go to surgery and all that, what they're doing now is they, like 3 days before your surgery, they want you to now wash up with a special soap. Okay, so they're getting better at it. Okay, so they want you to wash up before you come in. They even begin to do any type of surgical procedure. The night before, right, they want you to wash with the soap and they want you to change all your sheets on your bed.
Yep.
Okay, they're moving forward in modern medicine. Watch this. It was a time before antiseptics and a time when there was no attempt to maintain sterilizing during surgery. No antibiotics were available, and mere wounds could easily become infected and hence fatal, while the typical soldier was at risk of being hit by rifle and artillery fire, he faced an even greater risk of dying from disease. Now you're saying that why the hell is giving us these white people? So we always want to talk about our people during these time periods. So let's get to it. Let's talk about this, man. They barely had ambulances, the wagons. Before the formation of any organized ambulance system, a significant number of Union and Confederate soldiers lost their lives on the battlefield in wait for medical aid. Even if an army were able to overcome the shortage of ambulances, it was really the lack of organization that made it difficult to recover wounded on the battlefield. In some cases, those who manned ambulances were corrupt and sought to steal from the ambulance wagon and the wounded passengers, while in some situations they even refused to gather hurt soldiers. See, this is what the conscious community do. They ain't got no ambulances for y'all.
It ain't no conscious community ambulances.
There's no conscious
and
community
they'll rob
ambulance.
you blind if they had an ambulance.
This is crazy.
And they selling you crack medicine in the middle of a pandemic that they know don't work. I had a conversation with a guy. I refuse to call it a debate because there is no debate in science over whether vaccines work. But the conversation, this fool trying to tell me that he cured 3 patients. Can somebody tell this Negro opinion, yo, that it was the immune system that got them people do, and not the black tea and the motherfucking elderberry that he wrote the prescription for his patients?
I gotta agree, man. And, most viral pathogens, or if not all, if you're not vaccinated, your body typically fights the virus off. And as you mentioned 100,000 times, along with other members on the panel, you got your innate immune system and your adaptive, and both go to work. One typically reacts or acts faster than the other one. And that's the innate immune system, which starts with the skin, goes into the mucosa, and even ends up sometimes in the bloodstream with certain types of white blood cells. And
macrophages.
Your macrophages, neutrophils, and then you got your dendritic cells that send a signal.
Yes.
Yep. Cytokine. Yep. Dendritic cells.
Man, I can't hear y'all 2 people talking at the same time. I swear I can't hear you.
No, I don't want to. I guess I don't want to be too technical, because I know sometimes we might lose the audience or even certain people, but certain newcomers. You know what I'm saying? But those dendritic cells would kind of send a signal to that adaptive immune system, and that's when those cells that's inside of your lymph system kind of go to work. Those T and B cells that you was talking about in the PowerPoint. Mm-hmm. Now, and I don't want to hog the mic, but
no, keep going. You flowing.
You flowing. You don't stop.
It's very important that people understand that human and other animals literally have an immune system for that very purpose. And when we came up with discovered variolation and later vaccination, it was just a play on the natural working system. Like we had, we discovered that there was some type of pathogen or something going on in the smallpox infection, where we knew that once we fought it off, that we produced, antibodies that could later be passed on, which we later call passive immunity. I'm gonna pass you on the fight that I had with this monster so that you would be protected. I mean, it's quite genius. You know what I'm saying? It's quite genius, man. And we have to respect that and consider the reality that that process, which later led to vaccination, has saved the lives of millions of people, billions, probably at this point. Yeah. It's just nothing to talk about at this point. And to think that a plant or an herb would elicit the same type of response is crazy to me. And let me tell you something. If your plants or herbs or whatever you're selling is eliciting an immune response, that's because it's killing
no good.
You.
Yeah,
it's killing you.
It's no good.
It's an allergic response. It's IgE response. And you're gonna have an anaphylactic response. You're gonna need this epinephrine I got in this ambulance for your ass.
Facts. You're gonna need that shot really quick. Otherwise, you can't breathe. So if your herb is causing an immune response, then it's a poison.
Facts. Point blank. Period. And I've seen Joe Rogan call COVID, right? And we don't get flagged for mentioning his name. But the dude, when it took 7 or 8 different compounds, right, to treat something that he could have likely prevented with a single shot. Here it is. All you have to do is get a vaccine, and I apologize to anybody that think I'm trying to make just getting the vaccine, but it's just getting the goddamn vaccine. And this dude didn't get it. Right, it's just a jab. This dude didn't get it, and now here it is. He done went and got stuck anyway, according to him. So he went and got an IV anyway, which is bigger than the goddamn IM needle. Then had 8 different medicines, according to him, given to him that a doctor wouldn't even give in the first place unless he a quack. So it's
horse medicine.
Dude, I couldn't believe ivermectin.
It's an antiparasitic. So they have the human form, but it's an antiparasitic.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
that's like drinking penicillin trying to fight a COVID. It's penicillin is antibacterial. I mean,
right.
So half the drugs he was taking were useless.
Correct.
Completely useless. But why put yourself through that process when the vaccine prevents the development of the disease COVID-19? That's a fact.
Let me read this. Free slaves and civilians. We want to always talk about our people. Historian Leon Letwack has noted, neither white nor black Southerners were unaffected by the physical and emotional demands of the war. Hold on. Scarcities of food and clothing, for example, imposed hardships on both races. Conditions were worse for blacks. Conditions was worser for blacks. Watch this. Late in the war, and soon after a large number of blacks moved away from the plantation, the Freedmen Bureau refugee camps saw infectious, look, y'all, I'm gonna tell you what the most trying shit was. Y'all think the slavery was, y'all think the Civil War was. This was the most trying thing. The Freedmen's Bureau of refugee camps saw infectious disease such as smallpox reached epidemic proportion. Jim Downs states, disease and sickness had more devastating and fatal effects on emancipated slaves than on soldiers, since ex-slaves often lacked the basic necessities to survive. Emancipated, liberated bonds people from slavery, but they often lack clean clothes, adequate shelter, proper food, and access to medicines in their camps towards Union lines. Many free slaves died once they secured refuge behind Union camps. Man, why didn't they just pick some fucking herbs, ladies and gentlemen? They're in the woods. They know about their landscape. They've been living for that for over 225 years. Why didn't they just use the herbs? Come on, man. Like, everybody got to just knock it off, man. Yeah, man, we got to come back to reality, man. You know, you don't get no more natural than a free slave. That's all you got is the woods. What do you mean? What are you talking about here? So why is it that elders in our community is pushing us back to the damn Civil War? Pushing us back to the Egyptians, talking about the damn Egyptians. Natural, like white people got this shit down so pat. The conversation is that their pseudo community, because the white community has a very, very large pseudo community, and they way slicker than y'all, yo.
And they'll fight for it.
Yeah, they be in the street throwing blows over that shit.
They throw hands. They ain't on the internet just talking. They get out there and bust your head.
with guns.
Storm the
They
Capitol.
come in, they storm the Capitol with the guns.
Yeah.
The AK-5, those AR-15s, 322s. Oh, nice.
You tell white people they got to get vaccinated and they gonna throw hands. You feel me? You tell them they gotta put a mask on, they gonna throw hands. You feel me? They ain't playing. Y'all playing. Y'all know if y'all job tell y'all, look, don't bring your ass in here unless you vaccinated. You gonna go get vaccinated. Because you be damned if that car payment don't get paid next month. You know what I mean? We ain't losing nothing. For real. We not losing nothing over fucking COVID if we don't have to. And if our jobs tell us it's mandatory, black people got enough sense that we gonna go ahead and get it. Simple and plain. We know what it is to be hungry. Maybe those crazy white people don't know what it is not to have no money in their pocket. But we know firsthand. You know what I mean? If we ain't grow up and went days without having it, we seen people in our community who grew up who didn't have it. Or we know people and we don't want to experience that. Either we don't want to go through it again or we don't want to go through what we already seen, you know what I mean, somebody else go through. So when it really comes down to it, if they tell us, yo, our kids can't come to school, right? We're going to take our kids and get them vaccinated because we ain't going to be able to sit home with them all day, right? And lose our jobs. You know what I mean? It's the same way your mother used to tell you when you was young, right? If you was sick, what she used to tell you? Oh, you going to school. Let them call me, right? Because she wasn't missing no day from work. Fooling with your crazy ass. Your fever ain't high enough. Unless you having a seizure.
Your ass going to school.
Sometimes she'll wait till you wake up from that seizure and send your ass to school.
Yeah, just zipping that jacket all the way up.
I think we're in the perfect space and the perfect opportunity to deliver a death blow to the pseudoisms in our community. COVID has presented us with a perfect opportunity in real time to deal with the pseudoism. There ain't no herb. There never has been, no, there never will be. There's not a crystal, there's not a sea moss that is going to deal or fight this virus. The only thing that is going to deal with this virus is science and the vaccines.
Let's dive real quick in the chat room. We got some herbologists in here. You got Scripture Rapaz. They say, I'm using herbs, Unc.
That's Sabio, man.
That's Sabio. He talking about weed, yo.
Man, that's why I'm gonna stop you because I'm
Sabio,
sure
he
you
talking about
wrong.
smoking weed.
I'm sure you misinterpreted that conversation.
Weed, smoking gas, Unc. I'm smoking gas, bro, for COVID-19. Man, goodness. They got COVID. They didn't even mention the jab. They gave her the same thing that people use. What? Ebola. And she's fine. Like, what are you talking about, Matt Goodwin?
You talking about for Ebola?
Matt Goodwin.
Vaccine for Ebola.
I hope they're not eluding the hydroxychloroquine. I hope they
No.
They don't give you, hold on, they don't give you, when you catch COVID, they don't give you a vaccine.
No.
A vaccine does not treat COVID-19, which is a disease. Like, come on, man. It's not a therapeutic, yo.
You cannot get the shot if you're actively fighting COVID.
If you're actively having COVID, why would I give you a shot which will only increase the spike protein count in your body at that moment?
Hold on, let me read this real quick. It say, bro, I used herbs when I had COVID and I'm good. First of all, nigga, you don't know if you're good. Let's get this straight. All right, you need to take your ass to the doctor and get a complete checkup to make sure you're good. Second of all, it never was the herbs, it was your damn immune system that pulled you through. Y'all just gotta knock it off, man. So when you started feeling better, yo, it was your immune system working, yo. Nobody on this panel is saying that your immune system is not working. I mean, it is not good. We're simply saying that the virus that has colonized planet Earth is a problem for the human immune system. And there's a price to pay for your natural immunity. The problem is you don't know what price you're paying right now. That's the problem. Anybody want to add to that? Since we got a guy who
like
got the same thing we all got. Go ahead, Sosa.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, when that type of bill happens, you gotta, I mean, that's a different conversation. You know, well, he's talking about treatment.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta just not even go down that road, bro. We're talking about one, prevention versus treatment. You know what I'm saying? We talk about getting something so you don't catch COVID. You know what I'm saying? Now, after, he's talking about after I caught COVID. That's not this, you know, we're having two different conversations.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna let them dive and think the herbs gonna do it. Take your ass to the doctors if you caught COVID. Hell wrong with you?
Well,
Yeah,
my question will be
No, the herbs didn't even address the virus. His immune system addressed the virus. What his herbs probably did was address some of the symptoms that was associated with having the disease. But the disease itself, getting rid of the virus, only the immune system can do that.
Malcolm, dive in on that. We heard the way Cedric put it. I want to hear you put it away. Address the herbs in the immune system after you done caught the goddamn COVID. You in the field, goddamn it. Address that. We all gonna address that. Go ahead, Malcolm.
So yeah, the vaccine is preventative. The herbs probably might have been beneficial, and that's a quote, you know, in quotations, might have been beneficial to certain symptoms that you had as a result of catching COVID-19. But actually fighting it off, well, you know, that's the immune system. That's just point blank period. And what the vaccine is doing pretty much is just turning this novel coronavirus into a almost like a cold. And you know, we may eventually see an endemic versus a pandemic because of the vaccine. Some you know, some people are choosing to actually catch, like, you're gonna catch this virus, y'all. You're gonna be exposed to it, or you're gonna catch it. You know, I'm just gonna tell them the hard truth.
Yes,
it's going to find a host.
Going endemic.
Come on, Cedric, you can't talk at the same time. Cedric, goddamn. We don't get to hear one human at one time. You can get back. Go ahead, finish that, Malcolm. Then I go back at you, Cedric.
No problem. It's gonna find a host. It's gonna find a host. It's gonna make its way around to you. And my advice, you know, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm in the medical field, medical professional. I've actually been delivering vaccines, specifically this one, is to get vaccinated. It's going to reduce severe symptoms, hospitalizations, and potentially death. There's a high chance of survival if you get the vaccine versus if you do not. And I don't understand how we worried about long-term effects of a single shot or two, but we somehow okay with taking herbs that we have no idea what the long-term effects are. We tend to think natural means superb. It's pretty prehistoric at this point to think that you can just go pick health off of a tree. You know, humans now have the capability and brain power to actually, you know what I'm saying, take their environment, study it, and create, make a benefit out of it. You know what I'm saying? We went from making fires now to actually taking a pathogen and literally fighting fire with fire. Like, that's just where we at, y'all. You know, ain't no other way to look at it.
Go ahead, Cedric, you were saying something.
Yeah, I thought my mic was on mute because I was pretty much talking to myself, agreeing with what Malcolm was saying. Fact of the matter is, because of it being a coronavirus, it's gonna become endemic. What does that mean? Eventually, you're going to have your opportunity to dance with corona. Now, you can do it two ways: guaranteed that you're not going to develop the disease, or running the risk of developing the disease. And just to concur once again with what Malcolm said, we're entertaining 2 and 3 different discussions. First of all, preventative versus therapeutic, and then a question mark as to whether the herbs actually has any therapeutic value. And at the end of the day, it is your immune system that actually fights the virus and gets rid of it. So yeah, we come full circle, I guess.
Where you at, Sosa?
Yeah, man. The way I look at it, the state of where we at right now. We're at a crucible point to where there's no more people on the fence. Like, we got to be realistic about that. Like, there's no people aren't waiting to see. I'm just going to wait and see how things work out. Like, we're already past that point, right? Like, those people just aren't going to take the vaccine. I mean, that's just point blank period. So right now we're at mandates. That's the next step to get to the rest of the population over the hump. And so we're going to see, how far the anti-vax population, the hesitancy or whatever you want to call it, are willing to go to not get vaccinated. So that's where we're at right now. So we're going to see what they're willing to sacrifice not to get the shot.
Hey, so you see the screen?
Yeah.
You see it good? Make it bigger. I'm gonna need you to read it for me.
I can see it. The germ theory of disease is a currently accepted scientific theory for many diseases. It states that microorganisms known as pathogens or germs can lead to disease. These small organisms, too small to see without magnification, invade humans, other animals, and other living hosts. Their growth and reproduction within the host can cause disease. Germ may refer not just a bacterium, but to any type of microorganism such as protists or fungi, or even non-living pathogens that can cause disease, such as viruses, prions, or viroids. You gotta go up, so let me see. Okay. Diseases caused by pathogens are called infectious diseases. Even when the pathogen is the principal cause of a disease, environmental and hereditary factors often influence the severity of the disease and whether the potential host individual will become infected when exposed to the pathogen.
Okay. So hold on. This one to get slick. This what your community is trying to do to you. This what they doing to you. Go ahead, Sosa, because this what they taking you at. They taking you right back here. Go ahead.
Basic forms of germ theory was proposed in the late Middle Ages by physicians including Ibn Sina in 1025. Girolamo France in 1546, and expanded upon by Marcus von Pleasens or whatever in 1762. However, such views were held in disdain in Europe.
Stop. This is the conscious community, ladies and gentlemen. However, such views were held in disdain in Europe. So I told you you've been listening to white people. I told you. I tried to tell you, but no one listened. Keep going, dog, because this is fun. Watch this.
Disdain in Europe when Jalene's miasma theory remained dominant among scientists and doctors.
Stop. This where they at. The miasma theory, also called miasmatic theory, is an obsolete medical theory that held that, here we go, that held that diseases such as cholera, chlamydia, or the Black Death, watch this, y'all, were caused by miasma, hold on, ancient Greeks for pollution. I want to let y'all know, yo, that they actually thought that diseases was caused by pollution, a noxious form of bad air. They call it bad air. Y'all watch this, also known as night air. The theory held that epidemics were caused by miasma emanating from rotten organic material. Through miasma theory is typically associated with the spread of contagious diseases. Some academics in the early 19th century suggested that the theory extended to other conditions as well as one could become obese by inhaling odor of food. Miasma theory was advanced by Hippocrates in the 4th century BCE. and accepted from ancient times in Europe and China. The theory was eventually abandoned by scientists and physicians after 1880. What I tell y'all, man? So the Civil War, they didn't know, dog. Replaced by the germ theory of disease. Specific germs, not miasma, cause specific diseases. However, cultural beliefs, here y'all go, yo, watch this. However, cultural beliefs about getting rid of odor made the cleanup of waste a high priority the cities. Listen, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, y'all arguing with us because you do not know the germ theory of disease. Because if you did, you would shut the hell up. You wouldn't be saying what you were saying. You wouldn't say none of that. In the 1880s, by the end of that decade, the miasma theory was struggling to compete with the germ theory disease. Viruses were initially discovered in 1890. Eventually, the golden era of bacteriology ensued, during which the germ theory quickly led to the what? Identification of actual organisms that cause disease. Man, yo, I'm just trying to tell you, yo. Yeah, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not trying to do none of that, man. I'm just simply saying, man, it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know. But the problem is when elders in our community who don't know talk that shit. That's the problem. A real elder says, hey, man, I don't know. I don't understand that. Somebody with more knowledge, can you help me out? Anybody want to speak on that? Because I think we pretty much figured out what's actually going on in our community. It's things they're just not understanding. We can tell by the things they say, like herbs and food. Somebody add on to that. Go ahead, Chef. Add on to that. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, is not that they just don't know, right? They refuse to educate themselves.
Mm.
You know, that's a bigger problem. When you was over on Tahaka channel on Marsh World TV, he refused the information. You know what I mean? He said no matter what you say. You know what I mean? He was bold in that statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And arrogant to a fault. He said, I don't care what you say.
Mm.
I'm not taking it.
Double down. I
don't care what you say. I don't care what you present. You know what I mean? I don't care how many people you beat in a debate. I ain't taking it. And then he told the dude that lost, he thanked him for all of the information he gave him and put him up on game. The motherfucker that lost, the motherfucker who didn't know what he was talking about, right? It was shown he ain't know what he was talking about, right? In front of, he had 1,500 people watching. And this dude went on there and made a goddamn fool out of himself. If his mother seen that, she should beat his ass. for getting on goddamn national TV. Getting on national TV and making a goddamn fool out of himself, right? I mean, that type of stuff. And to Hawk a double, after this guy made a complete fool out of himself. And I don't mean no, Rodney, you seem like a cool brother. I ain't gonna lie. You respectful, you know what I mean? Everything. I fuck around and hang out with you. If you had the needle, if you got the jab. You know what I mean? But you seem like somebody that I would actually hang out with. You seem like a cool guy. You seem like you wouldn't get me in no trouble. You dig what I'm saying? And I like to be around people like that. That ain't gonna get me in no trouble. But you got on national TV
I know,
and
yeah.
make a fool out of yourself. And your man Tahaka said he's still rocking with your information. If you was a real man, you should have told Tahaka, nah, Tahaka, don't fuck with what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I just got my ass beat up here. But you ain't say that. You know what I mean? You let Tahaka think that you had some correct information. You just didn't know how to properly present it or something. But yeah, man, like it's just getting even harder for these people. You know what I mean? And it's so many of them. It seems like they're winning, but trust me, y'all, they not winning. The government ain't having it. Every day they're moving closer and closer, right, to pushing for mandatory vaccinations. So it don't matter what they say at this point. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna be forced into it regardless. So I mean, it was fun arguing with y'all, but the argument is about to be over.
Man. Oh no. Where you at? Somebody had something on it. I'm pulling up the next round.
It sound like the federal government said we got to save themselves from themselves at this point.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's I'm gonna keep reminding people, man. It's very important to understand the difference between hypertension and a viral infection, right? Or a viral, a disease caused by a virus. So it's two different types of disease. It's disease because the body is no longer at ease. But thinking you're gonna diet your way out of a viral infection just ain't gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't diabetes where you can reverse the diabetes type 2. You know what I'm saying? It's not a medicine game at this point. We're talking about preventative measures, right? Social distance, mask. I mean, people still arguing about masks, bro. And I find it quite crazy that we actually had people at one point in time, and probably still do, who were arguing about whether a germ, a virus, or bacteria, or really exists.
Yeah, remember I was not cutting you off, yo. Not cutting you off. Remember on Sign of the TV, I had to argue with that girl over that. The one we end up was at the debate. Remember that? That's where you heard that crazy shit at.
Yep.
Man, it's unbelievable. They got entire photos on the electron microscope. Like, hey man, I just can't, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, you seen Nicki Minaj fans boycotted the CDC, right?
Nah, what happened?
Yeah, they went out there and boycotted the CDC. They said Nicki Minaj, she's speaking truth. She's speaking truth to power, and they thank her for speaking truth.
What Nicki Minaj do, man? What I miss?
Yeah, right in Atlanta.
What I miss? What I miss with Nicki Minaj, man?
Oh man, you missed the show yesterday, yo. She went crazy talking about she got a friend and they nuts swelled up when they took the vaccine.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was right out there in Atlanta.
Imagine Nicki Minaj talking about scrotums. I mean, imagine that, right? You got to be kidding me, man.
She's speaking truth to power now. Okay then.
The conversation always the same, though. You always hear, a friend. I know a friend.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm saying? It was this dude I know, his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? It always that way you really can't confirm it. It's like does it? Yeah, my brother got a friend, and then you know what I'm saying? God, hey man, it should be crazy.
Having those nonsense that you can never verify. It's always a friend of a friend of a cousin of a friend. Yeah. It's madness.
My partner in the military, he told me that the aliens told him not to get it. You know, man, what the hell?
And that's a classic one, the military friend.
The psychosis part of it, though. I mean, people that had that fear or this or whatever you want to call it, they'll go to any lengths to make even lie to make what they believe more real, and even believe the lie. Believe the lie they know they're telling. You know what I'm saying? I remember, the other artist, Summer Walker, said her friend, of course, she had a friend who was around somebody that was vaccinated, and that caused the friend to have a miscarriage because they was around vaccinated people, and she was warning people don't be around the unvaccinated, don't hang around vaccinated. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up. So they tried to reverse the game and say the vaccinated people were contagious.
Yeah, the vaccinated
There
people
was a video.
are dangerous. Yeah.
There was a video of a black brother.
Stop.
There was a video of a black brother sitting and teaching with his reverse psychology that is the vaccinated people that are now shedding vaccine. He actually said shedding vaccine. And we need to be careful around vaccinated persons because they are the one that are shedding the vaccines which are causing the virus to mutate. So when they shed the vaccine, you're going to get the virus far worse. So it's vaccine shedding. He actually said vaccine shedding, not viral shedding. Not that you're vaccinated and now you are asymptomatic, but because you're vaccinated, you're asymptomatic, so you're walking around spreading the virus. No, he didn't say that. He said they are spreading the vaccine.
Wow. I can't believe I missed that. I know, man, I've been extremely busy with the work down here with the department and stuff, man. And apparently I done missed a few articles and some videos. Golly.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You can't make this shit up, man.
Yeah, you can't make this shit up. And like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, god damn. And they're doubling down. But I think it's before the candle goes out, it starts to flicker bright and goes crazy. I think we're seeing the last of the pseudos. They are dying out. They have no more arguments. They've been debunked at every turn. So this is the last stronghold that they have, which is the herbs, because natural is always good. So this is their last stronghold, and that's coming down like a house of cards. So I want to see what they're gonna come with next. Crystal.
Yeah. No, what's gonna take them down was that mandate. You know what I'm saying? That mandate is gonna, you know what I mean, put everybody to the test. You know what I'm saying? Because soon you can be like, hey, you anti-vax? Okay, where you work at? Oh, nah, if you working there, bro, you vaccinated. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be no more of that. Where you work at? Oh, you vaccinated, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I don't want people to think that, we demonizing herbs or anything like that. Yeah, herbs, herbal medicine. I mean, I think Unc mentioned it multiple times about the brother who, synthesized herbs with other compounds to help produce medicine. Yes. So maybe you're able to make an antiviral and things of that nature, but it's not going to be a vaccine.
They are natural antivirals. But how does what does it do? It creates an environment that isn't conducive to the virus living. It doesn't actually promote or stimulate an immune response. There's neem, there's coconut. These are a couple of natural antivirals. What they do is they not even work as an antibacterial, because an antibacterial is specific. They actually attack the bacteria. What these antiviral do is they create an unfavorable environment within the body, but they don't actually fight the virus. Again, we're going to come back to the same conclusion. Only the immune system produces the necessary antibodies to neutralize viral infection. That's the end of that discussion. There's no way around it. As a matter of fact, I'm not a doctor, so I will never entertain a therapeutic discussion because I'm not a pharmaceutical either. However, my biochemical background allows me to understand the process in the body, and the immune system, which is immunology and serology, is just understanding how the natural immune system of the body functions. And as you illustrated, Malcolm, so beautifully, what we did was understood that process and hijacked it. So now we were able to train the body to react as if you were previously infected. So the person that almost died and got up, we realized that the next time that virus came around, they didn't get sick. But we want to prevent that person or the next person from becoming that sick. So we understood how to inoculate. And from then, we're talking about billions of lives. I'm actually going to say we do not know, we cannot calculate the amount of lives vaccines have saved. We just can't. That's an exponential number. At this point, we cannot trace how many people, how many billions of lives have been saved by vaccine. These arguments and discussions are almost redundant, but we see the necessity for the education in our community, and I think that's what we do. Ank's presentation was a college course.
Man, wow.
He got a college crash course in immunology, in the immune system, in what vaccines are, and on top of it, what herbs ain't.
My question would be, do any of these herbologists have a doctor?
You know they do.
They all do.
Grand opening.
That nigga looked the healthiest shit on that video.
They got good doctors.
You don't look that healthy without goddamn medical, yeah, I mean, insurance. You know? he looked like he got a good PPO.
Yeah, if you getting herbs shipped to you, right? You getting these herbs shipped to you. You know, like normally, you know, like even when you see it on TV, it'll say, try this for that. If swelling occurs, contact your doctor, or not to be mixed with so. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're getting a herbal concoction from somebody. They don't know what type of medication you're on. You know what I'm saying? What type of allergies you have. What's in the toxin they give you that may affect certain allergies. You know what I'm saying? They're just giving you a tonic. Like,
do they do blood work?
Just crazy.
Do they do blood work?
There you go.
If they do blood work, do they understand what's in the blood work?
The lab value. There you go. If you ain't reading no CBC, if you can't tell me what my red blood cells, my hemoglobin,
my
hematocrit, my A1C,
nope, they don't know none of that.
Count, neutrophil, granulocytes, eosinophil. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, or even the basic signs to even know when something could be wrong. Hey, look, bro, if you feel a slight irritation in your leg, you know what I'm saying? Like just give me some basics. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't even give you basics. Like,
what's my blood pressure be?
If you told me a low number, I would consult a physician. That means, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what is a normal heart rate? Like, do you know CPR? And you claiming to be a doc? I need to know this stuff, right?
You're asking me the detox, but do you know what my sodium and potassium levels need to be? Did you measure my urea and create numbers to know what my kidney functions look like? Did you do my ALAT and ASAT? Do you know what my kidney functions look like? And if I actually did the test, what would those numbers say to you? Woo. If they're too high, what does it mean? If they're too low, what does it mean? Have you a clue? Now talk to me about an herb.
Y'all see the TV? I mean, my fault. Y'all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Guess what it say? It say the Surgeon General warning: smoking causes lung cancer, heart disease, emphysema, and may complicate pregnancy. Do you know how many black people smoke Newports?
Woo.
And talking about they don't want to take a vaccine?
Assholes.
Here,
Assholes. You just gotta call people assholes sometimes, yo. Like, what other word describes this type of behavior? Like we're arguing with people and they just complete assholes. Like, it's my bad. Go ahead. Finish it, Bill.
You're right.
So here's the point I want to make. All your fake doctors, all your fake herbologists, they never could reach this conclusion. Let me show you. Watch this. We like to do it very simple around here. None of your fake doctors in this fake community with the fake medicine that they plan could have never warned you about smoking and it causes lung cancer. They would have had you taking herbs for lung cancer. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't even have known what it was. The fucking Egyptians didn't know it was cancer. They sure enough died from it. They sure enough had all the herbs in the world. It never cured cancer. But these people that's promoting this nonsense, they don't use the tool that will show you how or why smoking causes lung cancer. Let me bring this to y'all. Page 31 on trick or treatment. Get the book. I keep using the book because once you read this book, nobody's ever getting past you. This is how disabled our community is. This says a stroke of genius. Before applying an evidence-based approach to evaluating alternative medicine, it is worth re-emphasizing that it provides extraordinarily powerful and persuasive conclusions. Indeed, it is not just the medical establishment that has to tug its forelock in the face of evidence-based medicine, because governments can also be forced to change their policies. And corporations may have to alter their products according to what the scientific evidence shows. One final story illustrates exactly how scientific evidence can make the world sit up, listen, and act regarding health issues. It concerns the research that dramatically revealed the previously unknown dangers of smoking. I read that shit pretty good, didn't I? Because I fucking read books. Knock it off. Playing with y'all. No, wink, wink. Let me come right here. It says, hold on, let me see. Let me come down here because I don't want to read y'all to death. We talking about Hill. That's one of Hill's career had evolved research into a wide variety of health issues. Let me skip down here. Say he also conducted important research. I'm talking about Dr. Hill. He also conducted important research into the effectiveness of antibiotics against tuberculosis, the disease that had ended his hopes for becoming a doctor. Watch this. Then in 1948, Hill's interest turned towards lung cancer because there had been a six-fold increase in cases of disease in just 2 decades. Experts were divided as to what was behind the health crisis, with some of them dismissing it as consequence of better diagnosis, while others suggested that lung cancer was being triggered by industrial pollution, car fumes, or perhaps smoking. So at this point, they don't know. At this point, they're like the conscious community. They don't know. So what's the difference between what we're trying to teach you and what the conscious community constantly do? Besides from being back in the fucking Egyptian period somewhere, or somewhere deep in West Africa, in the bayou somewhere, or deep in the Amazon some damn where, with some tribe, you know what I'm saying, that's where they at. That's the mindset y'all got. We trying to bring y'all to the real world. We want to inspire the youth to go to medical school. We want to inspire the youth, right? We want to put our money, instead of putting $1 million in a slap ass museum, we want to have $1 million and send 10 students to biology and immunization school. So that when the next outbreak comes, we can have Black scientists. We want to put that other $7 million into building a facility that will allow us to test. So we don't have to hear this, like the Nation of Islam, whenever something crazy, this the excuse. We want our own scientists. My nigga, y'all had millions of dollars over the last 90 years to do all of that. Knock it off. But let me show you the difference between what we're trying to give you and you call us the police. How did they know about lung cancer and smoking cigarettes? Watch this. With no consensus in sight, Hill teamed up with Dahl. So I need y'all to look up Dr. Hill and Dr. Dahl, and decided to investigate one of the proposed causes of lung cancer, namely smoking. However, they faced an obvious problem. They could not conduct a randomized clinical trial. Now, we always talk about the randomized clinical trials. This is what Sean talks to in nauseam. This is what the Pseudo Kill talks about in nauseam. This is what we say, the clinical trials. But wait a minute. It's kind of hard to do a clinical trial on cigarette smoking. You can't just get some damn teenagers and say, yo, we want you to smoke. You can't do that. Y'all be swaying people are super evil, but they got enough sense to know. Watch this. It says they faced the obvious problem. They could not conduct the randomized clinical trial in this particular context. For instance, it would have been unethical, impractical, and pointless to take 100 teenagers, persuade half of them to smoke for a week, and then look for signs of lung cancer. Watch this. Instead, Hill and Dahl decided that it would be necessary to devise a prospective consort study or a observational study. So we got the consort prospective study, right? And we got the observational study. Once again, the prospective consort study or an operational study. Look it up. Operational study. Look it up. It says, which means that a group of healthy individuals is initially identified, and then their subsequent health is monitored while they carry on their day-to-day lives. This is much less, wait, let me see, wait. This is much less individualist approach than a randomized clinical trial. It's which is why the prospective consort study is preferable for exploring long-term health issues. The name of the study is this. I want y'all to look it up. It's called the British Doctor Study. Once again,
look it up, y'all.
The British Doctor Study. They did this in British. Watch this. It says finding groups to participate met these demands requirements was not a trivial task, but Hill eventually thought of a solution while playing golf. This prompted him to friend Dr. Wayne Griffin to comment, I don't know what kind of golfer he is, but that was a stroke of genius. Hill's brilliant idea was to use doctors as genuine pigs, as guinea pigs. Dr. Phil, hold on, where I'm at. Okay, Hill's brilliant idea was to use doctors as guinea pigs. My fault. Doctors fitted the bill perfectly. There were lots of them. Many were heavy smokers. They were perfectly able to monitor their health and report back, and they were relatively harmonious upset of the population. Homogenous, my fault. and say they were relatively homogenous subset of the population. It goes on to say, when the smoking study commenced in 1951, the plan was to monitor more than 30,000 British doctors over a course of 5 decades, but a clear pattern was already emerging. By 1954, there had been, watch this, 37 deaths from lung cancer, and every single one of them was a smoker. As the data accumulated, the study implied that smoking increased the risk of lung cancer by a factor of 20, and moreover, it was linked to a range of other health problems, including heart attacks. The conscious community is under-equipped. The Black community that follow herbs and snake oil salesmen are under-equipped. They could never actually help us in no situations. They're going with the anecdotal approach. Go ahead and mix some elderberries and some black tea and drink that shit. And call me in the morning after you spend $50 from me. Is this where we at now? Are you telling me this? I gotta argue with people who claim to be a mortician? This nigga burying niggas. That's what morticians do. And he thinks him being a mortician helps him slide on over to what we talking about. It don't translate well, my nigga, because I'm thinking you trying to get people to promote and die for your business at this point. Does anybody want to add to that? Because I don't want to keep reading too much because, it kind of bog people down. I'll continue reading after y'all throw your comments in there because I find this to be very, very interesting. This is not hard to understand. This ain't complicated, right? It's a very simple thing they do. Look at the motherfuckers smoking, look at the ones who are not smoking, and then figure out what's going on with them. That's all y'all herbologists got to do. Y'all talking shit. Excuse my language. Y'all bugging. Y'all can do the same thing. But you don't want to know. Anybody want to add to that?
A mortician?
you know what type of business he into. He want as many of y'all to kill over so he can get that money. So he can embalm your asses. He get paid for that. He get paid not for you feeling good or getting well. He get paid when you kick the bucket. So that was the guy that Unc was debating, a goddamn mortician. You know what I mean? He was telling y'all to drink tea when y'all get COVID. You know what I mean? So, I'm just saying motive is there. Motive is there.
Rodney was a mortician?
Yeah, he said he was a mortician.
I didn't know that. Nobody what the hell we talking about, man? Oh, man.
You can't make this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
You gonna take advice from the coroner.
Somebody said it last night. This is Saturday Night Live. Now we dealing with a mortician that's telling you to drink tea with a smile. You're gonna fight COVID. You're not gonna end up by me.
Only time he gonna treat you is when you laying on a slab with no pulse. You know what I mean? So y'all go ahead and listen to that nigga.
I got experience with dead bodies, man.
Niggas taking medical advice from an undertaker.
We got Malcolm on the panel. He saves lives. You got a biochemist on the panel. I do my part in saving lives. We got scientifically literate Unc, who's the master in evolution. And you want advice from the mortician, the dude that takes you under. Okay. Yes, I'm okay. Yes, thank you. My name is Steve, the mortician, and I have here herbal extract that make you live forever. Come join me in the fountain of youth.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
Yo, that debate though, right? After all finished, right? Talk was like, and finally, the man we all came to see.
When can I get where do I let me no, I'm gonna start let me find where I need to start. There were no clinical trials. You see here, they say the clinical trials were conducted, then there were no animal testing done. Yes, the animal testing was done simultaneously with the first phase. Man, this dude, like, yo.
Unc crazy, man. Unc done debated a Undertaker, yo.
I know, right? Like at this point, it's just being a bully at this point. Bro. Like, if the last fight is the Undertaker, go ahead. Like the war is won, bro. Like the war is won. Like there's no. You know what
They
I'm saying?
done
That's
threw
why.
a Undertaker at Unc, yo.
That's what I'm saying. The only people left is the crazies, bro. Like at this point, only the crazies are left, man. Like
Yo, when the best they got to offer Unc is a Undertaker.
Undertaker, yo. I didn't even want to joke that nigga. I was like an Undertaker, yo. I thought somebody said he thought it was a movie maker. I was like an Undertaker. He was like, yeah, yo, that's the song. I was like, yo, you make money off of dying, my nigga. What are you talking about? Yeah, go ahead and take this tea and wink at us and get them elderberries.
Crazy.
When you get sick, bring your family to me. Wink, wink, wink. Come on, dog.
right. He only observes dead body.
The Undertaker,
Right.
who's
You gotta know anatomy, nigga. You gotta know the immune system to talk about what we talking about. Let me finish reading this. It says the British doctor study, as it was known, was given rise to such shocking results that some medical researchers were initially reluctant to accept the findings. It says similarly, the cigarette industry questioned the research methodology. So here we go. Here we go. So the cigarette companies have scientists too. See? So they fighting back. That's why we like science, see? So how can we tell when two scientists is talking shit opposed to each other, huh? See, at the end of the day, the one with the best data and the best science is going to win. Watch this. It says, similarly, the cigarette industry questioned the research methodology, arguing that there must be a flaw in the way that the information was being gathered or analyzed, right? It says, fortunately, British doctors were less skeptical about Hill and Dahl emerging conclusion because they themselves had been so involved in the study. Hence, they were not slow in advising the public against smoking. That's why it was a genius idea to use the doctors, because they doctors. And so when a cigarette company tried to challenge the methodology, they was like, well, wait a minute, we use doctors. Now watch this. Because the link between cigarettes and lung cancer would affect smokers around the world, it was important that the work of Hill and Dahl was replicated and checked. See? Listen. Because the link between cigarettes and lung cancer would affect smokers around the world, it was important that the work of Hill and Dahl was replicated and checked. It says the results of another study, this time involving 190,000 Americans, were also announced in 1954. And the conclusion painted a similar stark picture. Meanwhile, research with mice showed that half of them developed cancerous lesions when their skin was coated with a tarry liquid extract from tobacco smoke, showing that cigarettes definitely contain, carcinogens. It say the picture was complete. With more data from Hill and Dahl, ongoing 50-year study, it reinforced the explicit detail, the deadly effects of tobacco. Your elders in your community, man, couldn't have did nothing for you. Y'all still be smoking them damn cigarettes without no labels on the pack. Talking about eat some string beans, you know what I'm saying, because your chest hurting. It's ridiculous, man. It's downright criminal. The elders in the community have become criminal and explicit in putting discredited European information before you. Anybody want to add on to that?
Ain't nothing much to add. Ain't nothing much to add at this point.
Yeah, you slam them.
Yeah, if you'd told me dude was a mortician, bro, I wouldn't have watched that first half of talk and shit. Like, I'm kind of flick mad about that shit. I'm like, tell me.
We didn't know he was
I
a
watched the first
mortician.
half of that shit. I was like, man, like,
Rodney, a mortician. Oh, shit. Oh.
that's crazy.
Yeah, who knew, yo? That's crazy, yo. He tried to throw it out there like it was something he was doing. He was like, I'm a musician. I was like, who? A mover? A what? A mover? I said, yo, how's that helping in this conversation? Because we got to know anatomy. Hey, man.
He know how to open the nigga chest up.
Yeah, when he said Dan, like once he said like the shit didn't go past phase 1, I tuned out immediately right there. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just like, I'm gone. Right? Anyways, and even don't need to stick around. Say something like that. Is it like for real?
That's why I didn't catch the whole the Tahaka discussion. Ankh body bagged him in the first round. I gave him the credit because of Tahaka's introduction. So I listened to his half an hour. He was so shocked that when Tahaka told him 4 more minutes, he was all over the place. And I was just simply waiting for the punchline. I was waiting for the moment he says, you need to use moringa bush, boil it 4 times, strain it over some juju beans, and that's the preventive, that's gonna trigger your immune response. I was just waiting for him to go there. He didn't went there. So I was done after that. I was like, okay, it's a wrap. There's nothing more after that. I wake up the next morning and there's a 2 hour long science with Sean. And I'm like, what happened? That was a body bag.
Yeah, this show afterwards. Like, yeah, I didn't make it through like 5 minutes of old boy, and I was like, yeah, I'm gone.
No, I listened to Rodney. I listened to old Rodney. Rodney is special. Rodney's a mortician. Rodney's selling herbs. Rodney can't read. Rodney boomerang daggering himself. Rodney is special. He's a cool kid. Chef, you're sure he won't get you into trouble? He'd get you dead.
You know, I just be wanting to know, like, cause like, you know what, like, you know, for people like Tahaka, right? Like, I know you go to the hospital. Like, I be wanting to ask this basic question, like, what did, you know, like, are you having home birth? Have your child experienced sickness? I'm saying, do you take them to the hospital then? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever been put on medication? You know what I'm saying? Just go down the basic list so we can find out at what point did you veer away from modern medicine? You know what I'm saying? Because I know you still, like, because that's why I don't even believe those herbalists, because, you know, when they get sick, if that baby's sick, they at the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So like, other than YouTube, right, and just to be stubborn, you know, it looks good. But when a rubber meets the road, man, like,
yeah, what herbs do you give a baby?
Nah, shit, you gonna go straight to prison? You up on charges?
What herbs do you give a goddamn infant?
Nothing.
I need to
y'all
know.
Remember that lady? Hey, y'all remember that lady that actually had a home birth and something went wrong? They had to call the ambulance. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? They had to call the ambulance. Watch this. The baby got to the hospital and they realized that the baby was malnutritioned. The newborn was malnutritioned, and they start, you know, doing what they're supposed to do, and then the people start acting crazy. My thing was, why in the fuck did you call the ambulance? Do what it do.
Right. Let God take
Let God handle that at that point. Why you calling them? And then on the news talking about, I felt like they shouldn't have gave the baby no shots. Wait a minute, dude. You didn't feel like nothing. It's backwards. Don't call them. You know why you called them? Because your motherly and fatherly instincts kicked in. And you seen that life of that baby. and you realized you was ill-equipped because something was wrong. And then you needed the white man science to help you. So you called them. You not only called them, you called 911, an ambulance. And they came like this for you. Not unless you was in the hood, it took a little bit longer, but they'll get there. You went to the hospital, and then after you seen your baby was good, then you started talking that black algae talk again.
Called the white man ASAP.
Hey.
You needed him expeditiously.
Hey. Look, I can see him now. Hey, man, that nurse ain't doing too good in here, man. Hey, which one is going to call him first? Call the doctor.
The nurse probably holler, call the doctor.
Call the doctor. I don't know what the...
Why don't you give him something? Why don't you give him something? You ain't got no medication in them closets. Why don't you give him something? Ain't there a shot you can give him?
Outside of YouTube, right? Like I don't come
Get a
across
little nigga some tea.
I don't come across these people in the streets though. That's what be tripping me out, bro. Like
I never met one. I never met one.
But on YouTube, I know there's hundreds of them.
These niggas be in the chat. They are liars.
I know.
They are liars. That's what I'm saying. We're debating people. Well, Unc is taking time out of his busy schedule to debate per the liars. Like, yo, they're liable. When once you find out a person is a liar, now you know they're liable to say anything. That nigga was reading the same shit that you was reading and was getting a whole nother interpretation of the shit. Reading the same words. So even this nigga couldn't read. Even he couldn't comprehend what he was reading. Like, what was the nigga, dyslexic or something? I don't know. But Unc would read the same shit after him. And that shit would take on a whole new meaning.
Hey, they could have been on the CT, Chef. He had all the articles to back Unc up.
Hold on, but when this nigga would read something first, he would sound right. And when Unc would read it, the shit would sound completely different. So what type of sorcery was he doing? Like, what the fuck is going on here, yo?
You know what he'll say? You know what he'll say? He say, you know they gotta tell the truth.
Oh my God, Peter Bag Juice on here. That's Haskell.
Hey man, we got the first caller, man. This the calling section of the show, man. All right.
Haskell about to beat y'all up. I'm meeting y'all.
Beat me up. What's going on, brother? Talk to us.
Hey,
what's on your mind?
Real quick, how long y'all think I'll go last? I'm gonna go 10 minutes or less. Anybody want to go higher than 10? Nah.
Put them in that black hole. I ain't gonna go forever.
Let's go.
Go ahead, Peter. Peter Bag Juice. What's good?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Good evening.
How you doing, man?
Big Soul.
What's up, bro?
Big Chef. How y'all boys doing, man? Nah, man, I come in peace, man. You know, I'm all about civility, brothers. You know that. All about civility, man. Like, I really would like to talk about more so the policies and the things that the federal government and stuff are gonna try to do to kind of coerce people into taking the vaccines. I don't really so much want to debate the whole. I'm kind of exhausted with the whole vaccine debate. You know what I mean?
Wow, you agree you lost that one, right?
Hold up, yo. They call a nigga Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, that was funny, yo. Rodney Dangerfield.
Man, that was funny, bro.
As a policy developer for government, the discussion with regards to mandates is a nuanced one. We have to, for example, we need to take into consideration the fact that previously infected individuals have acquired immunity. And they are pretty much on the same status as a vaccinated person. So when we're looking at policy development, we're going to have to take those people into account. Do we mandate that people who we know were previously infected and have a adequate immune response, do we mandate them to get a vaccines as well? Do we ban them from entering into establishments, etc.? So there's when politics enters into the equation, it always muddies the water where science is concerned. The science is clear, but politics and that's a dynamic that is going to play itself out in every country based on that country's dynamic. For example, I'm looking at Europe because, of course, I'm tied to Europe. The Netherlands.
Hey, Cedric, you forgot we was in the middle of a call, yo?
Yeah, but I'm answering his question.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Well, I didn't know he finished his question. Did he finish his question? Or am I tripping?
Nah, he cool. All
right, go ahead. All right, you handle that, Cedric. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like Europe is dropping all social distancing measures. They're done. They're done. It's on you now. You get infected, it's on you now. We have the vaccine. We have so much people that have acquired natural immunity. As of the 25th of September, they're dropping all mandates, all social distancing mandates. What's going to happen in the US and how that plays out, that I can't speak to.
Yeah. I mean, I think y'all underestimate how stubborn Americans can be, you know, and then the law that Biden is using to back his position, the OSHA thing, he interpreted that thing real wide. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see it flying. They filing all kind of lawsuits. You know, down here in Florida, DeSantis basically told any of them businesses, any of these businesses who adheres to that whole if you have 100 employees thing, if you fire nobody behind not taking no vaccine, DeSantis charging everybody $5,000 for each, you know, incident. So, and it's other governors that's looking to take them kind of same steps. So, you know, I just don't see this mandate thing flying, the whole vaccine passports. The police union is fighting that in New York, the firefighters. You know, this America, man. Like, Americans don't take to being, you know, dictated to and being spoken to like, you know, they're your kids or something, like how our senile president was talking. Like, I'm tired of y'all. And like, I know niggas looking around like, who he talking to? Nigga, I ain't none of your kids. So I don't see it flying, bro.
But in terms of passport, though, you know, United States can say, hey, you need to be vaccinated to come into the country, right?
Oh no, I meant vaccine passports, like in within the borders, like to go in a restaurant or go in a sporting event or that type of stuff.
All right. So let me ask you this, right? Would you be comfortable with the law being stated like, okay, unvaccinated people who contract COVID in terms of hospital care will be placed at the back of the line because we have a vaccine? We're not going to mandate vaccine, but in terms of care, other injuries and illnesses will be before you, since we have a treatment. Will you be comfortable with that?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. I mean, you know my position, Sosa. So I mean, you know, I wouldn't agree with that. But yeah, I don't know if that's ethical. You know, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Because like,
I don't know.
Because it's like, at what point can we, like, how do we get middle ground? You know what I'm saying? We want you to get vaccinated as a mandate. You say no, don't mandate. So what's the middle ground? Like, how do we find middle ground with that?
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. I wanted to ask y'all. I mean, I know about the immunocompromised and all that. I know that's a very, very small in terms of when you consider the entire population. That's a very small group of people. But in general, for those who are vaccinated, why so much concern about who isn't vaccinated, right? Because if you're vaccinated and you're basically conferred, virtually 100% immunity, why this investment in, seeing someone else be vaccinated? Someone break that down for me. I don't get that part.
Variations.
You got people. Hold on. First of all, you got people taking spaces in hospitals with people who got like having heart attacks, all types of stuff. So you can't always be concerned with a bunch of nuts, right? Especially when we at the stage where COVID is a vaccine preventable disease. Nobody got time to play with y'all crazy ass motherfuckers. This shit is overboard now. This has become the pandemic of the unvaccinated. 99% of all people going to the hospital is fucking unvaccinated. Then nobody got time to babysit with y'all fake herbologists. That shit's straight fake, yo. And y'all the first one to run to the hospital. I tell you what, yo, we won't be concerned with you if you just keep your ass home and call Dr. Safety. Do that.
Oh, Lord. There's an interesting dynamic though. Well, at no point does the American population stop being vaccinated. So every day, more and more people are getting vaccinated. At the same time, more and more people are getting infected and acquiring a natural immunity. So by the time we get around to mandating the vaccine, how many people actually are we talking about? Minus those who cannot get the vaccine, which are kids under 11, and the few immune compromised. At the point that we mandate, because the people are still getting vaccinated, people are recovering from the disease, and the people are dying. Once you're dead, you're dead. Story's over. Long COVID is a consequence of acquiring natural immunity, but okay, natural immunity exists. So at a certain point in time, how many people actually are going to be left to be mandated? Take into account that the virus is not going anywhere. It's going to become endemic. So eventually, if you're not vaccinated, you're going to catch corona.
Point blank, period.
That's it.
Immunity is on the way out. You're going to either catch it or get vaccinated. And to answer that question and piggyback on what Unc was saying, because I'm in these hospitals every day. In fact, tomorrow, I'm pretty sure I'll be making continuous visits back and forth to about 5 out of the 10 hospitals we have in Memphis. These hospitals are backed up, and you have people, unfortunately, who chose not to get the vaccine for whatever reason. Maybe no access, maybe they was just vaccine hesitant, maybe it's religious, whatever the case may be. But the actions that they're not taking is leading them to being the people who are taking up rooms where patients who are being shot or heart attacks, strokes could be occupying, but they chose for whatever reason, and I'm not personally demonizing them for whatever their choices are, but just know that they are now in rooms where the usual heart attack would have been in, right? The usual cerebral vascular event individual would have been in, or that asthma patient now don't have access to that room because we're in there working a COVID patient who did have access to a vaccine that could literally prevent the disease that they're dying from. So at this point in time, I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I just think that their mindset now is, hey, we're having to save people from themselves. We have a preventable disease, which 50 years from now, students will be reading in the book, wondering why a large group of people chose to be naturally infected versus getting a shot, which could have prevented them from getting the 10 to 20 IVs they're going to probably get full of medicine once they catch COVID.
Can I say something?
Have at it, bro.
Hold on, Nahisi had his hand raised. Go ahead, Nahisi.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
The question that he just asked is an anti-vax question. And this has been going on. Wait, hold on. This has been going on for years. If my child is vaccinated, if your children are vaccinated, why you worry about my child going to school and you catching something from it? It's because the virus will mutate in your child, like we seeing now is mutating from those that ain't vaccinated. That is the problem.
Killed them.
Facts.
Let me ask you a question, Nahisi.
Can you accept what he just said, though, Haskell?
Sure, I'll even build off of it, right?
Okay.
If I accept the premise that viruses, mutate in people who don't get vaccinated, is
so
it
who
fair
else they gonna mutate in though?
Hold on.
No, let him go ahead. He said he accepted.
Yeah, I'm gonna accept the premise for the sake
He
of
said
argument.
the premise is not a premise, it's a scientific fact. Evolution is real and occurs in all living organisms. So let's keep it proper. But go ahead, Haskell.
You had 8 minutes. You had 8 minutes, Unc. You almost got it. 8 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I don't like the premise, yo. Like evolution is a fact, yo, and a theory. But go ahead.
Yeah, I only know how to answer it from my perspective, right? So never mind my language, right? So I'm gonna say I accept the premise. If the amount of mutations are infinite, right? Is that correct? There is no limit to the amount of mutations a virus could take, right? I'm asking Nahisi, by the way.
It all depends on the time and the mutation of the virus, but the virus will mutate. But if you are vaccinated, it don't have a chance to mutate.
Right, but I'm saying, all right, for those who aren't vaccinated, right? Conceivably, there is no limit to the amount of mutations that can occur, right? It's infinite, right?
Oh, okay, I'll give you that.
Right. Okay. So even if people were, as were vaccine zealots like y'all and most people, right?
I don't like that. Hold on. Vaccine zealots.
Let him have it, yo. Just let him get it out.
But no, we're not zealots.
He not going.
No, this is what I wanted to let everybody know. I don't give 3 flying fucks if you get vaccinated at this point. I'm simply saying, don't refute high medical science with some bullshit, because our people deserve. Y'all keep saying y'all want to have a choice, right? That's what you say. Yeah, we want to make an informed decision. So the only way you can make an informed decision is have informed, real information. If you got crazy information and you accept it, then you're not making an informed decision. That's all I'm trying to say right now. So I'm not a zealot with nothing. My deal is to teach scientific literacy and just give them the proper information. And once you get the proper information, then it's on your motherfucking shoulders. But to get the cracked out white people information and think you kicking that shit to your family is the garbage, dog. It's white people jargon, and it's strictly white people shit. We played it yesterday. So that's all I'm saying, yo. I'm not a zealot. Come on, bro. The zealot shit should go on y'all side.
Oh, so you
zealots promoting non-scientific bullshit as if it was really science, as if y'all had data over 225 years. Come on, dog. Don't do that to black people. They're bad enough they're confused. But go ahead, Peter Bag Juice.
Nah, but I mean, I done heard people on this very panel say they would be with, law enforcement or soldiers holding people down and jabbing them up.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
Right.
I'm on record. I'm on record.
Right. They on record. So if that doesn't count as zealotry, I don't.
I'm with that. I'm with niggas getting a gun put in their face.
I mean,
break yourself, nigga.
That's that's textbook zealotry right there.
Man, look, I can't speak for everybody.
Nah, you're not your own there. No. We ain't going down that road.
We might represent a small part.
We gonna pound the pavement, continue to educate, but we ain't going to hold nobody down.
I want to see you catch us rock and say I told you so. That's the type of nigga I am. I'm a tip for tat nigga, yo. All the nigga you caught doing. I knew. Hey, Haskell, you losing the lung, yo. Ha ha ha! I tried to tell you, dog.
I'm with the forced vaccinations though, Haskell. I ain't lying.
I know, and that's why I said calling y'all vaccine zealots is fair. Like, and just like how y'all call somebody an anti-vaxxer, because really that's just name calling. You know what I mean? It's
no, it's actual fact though. I mean, it's not.
No,
You're
But so when you
the
when you
vaccine, so you're
call
anti-vaxxer.
So we
when
gotta
you
take this one because of King Sosa and Chef. All right, we jealous. We zealots. Go ahead. Make your point. We gotta take
yeah,
it. We
so
gotta take it.
I was basically gonna say this, man. I think this is much ado about nothing because I believe that most people eventually are gonna take the vaccine. People who are like me, who are resolute, like absolutely resolute and not taking it, we're in a marginal, I believe, an extremely marginal group. So for the folks who are concerned about, I know Nahisi made a point about mutations, but that would mean that he doesn't subscribe to herd immunity then, because if 95% of the population eventually does get vaccinated, the 5% who are, entrenched in a position like me, it's inconsequential. You know what I'm saying? So
No, that's not how that
Um,
works. Because
can
herd
I jump
immunity,
in there?
yeah, go ahead, Cedric.
First of all, we're not talking about herd immunity anymore where this virus is concerned. We're understanding that the virus is going to become endemic. That means we're not going to get rid of it. We're never going to create an environment where you're safe. So now, when you're talking about these numbers, let me explain you how the numbers are actually going to look. 100% of us, 100%, eventually is going to face this virus. That's it. That's all. That's a fact. There is no secondary and tertiary protection. Why? Because of the fact where these viruses replicate. So I can be infected, although vaccinated, I can be infected with COVID SARS-2 virus. It replicates in my nasal cavity, giving me cold-like symptoms. However, I never developed the disease, COVID-19. So the virus is going to continue to exist in your environment. Those who have been vaccinated are guaranteed for 99.9% that we're not going to develop the disease COVID-19. Unvaccinated people run that risk with everything associated. So we're not talking this herd immunity conversation no more because there is no protection afforded to you by me. You understand that point? That's where the shift is.
right, so there's no end in sight then for this thing.
No. It's going to become endemic, which means it's going to be the fifth wave, the fifth coronavirus added to the 4 other coronaviruses, which we now recognize as the seasonal cold. We call it the common cold. So that means I have been infected often enough that it has been reduced to the severity of a common cold. This is what is emerging when we are looking at the pattern of reinfections or breakthrough cases where vaccinated people actually get infected, however, do not develop the disease. So the dynamics have changed a bit, whereby you now are becoming even more at risk. What's going to happen is the measures are going to be completely eliminated. No mask mandate, no more social distancing. You are now at a higher risk, my friend. And the question is, do you know if you have an underlying heart condition that is dormant? Do you know if you have an underlying lung condition that is dormant? What are your chances of coming out of this on the other side unscathed?
He's at the mercy of natural
Question is,
selection.
yes. And the question is, do you want to take that risk at this point from a preventable disease? That's the nuance here. It is all this discussion is preventable at this point. So how are we having this discussion? Just to be stubborn?
So may I ask, so anything outside of 100% vaccination rate is unacceptable then? Like
No. Hear what I'm saying?
What threshold would satisfy, because everybody isn't gonna get vaccinated, right?
No, and the others either are gonna acquire a natural immunity or be dead. So at the end of the day, we're going to have 100% of the people who have had their dance with COVID and develop natural immunity either through being vaccinated or having had COVID-19.
Basically, what he's saying, Haskell, is like everybody got a fight coming, and
Everybody.
you can put the gloves on, and some people gonna fight it with the headgear and the gloves on, and then some people gonna go straight at the, straight at the button.
Whoa! Can I say something? Everybody put the herbs on. Hey, everybody put your herbs on. Oh, everybody put your herbs on.
Hold on, is that the cash? That the Cash Money song? Get your roll on. You was just
Hey, get your herbs on.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's basically what it's coming down to. If you ain't had your
Everybody.
dance yet, you ain't had your dance yet, you guaranteed to get that dance, bro. So
Okay,
it's like
I got it now. So you're basically saying regardless if you vaccinated or not, because it's gonna be endemic, it's just like the flu. You're gonna have to deal with this thing regardless. Like you're gonna encounter it regardless.
Yeah.
It's gonna come down simple to this: survival of the fittest. Yep. And that's as much as I got to say. Survival of the fittest.
All right.
Crazy. Hey man, I think we did a good thing. You got anything else to say? You didn't say nothing, Mr. Adrian. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay. I'm happy to be on here again to be giving a voice. But I want to say something that I think the brother who was a doctor and somebody who said that he work in the hospital. What's your name? Beetlejuice?
You're not working on damn hospital. He working on daggone
Malcolm.
Pseudo ward, yo. He don't working on daggone pseudo ward and pseudo material, yo. Damn hospital.
I got a family member who recently had COVID, right? And now, like, she got to be on a lung. She got to be on basically like some sort of a life support because I think she lost one of her lungs, and so she got to be on life support for like the rest of her life. And the sad part is, the last time I saw her, I was on like, you got your COVID vaccine yet? She's like, no, I'm not gonna get the COVID vaccine.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like a good majority of my family members got it. And it's just, I asked them all the same thing. They're like, it's not FDA approved. It's not this. I'm not getting it. It's sad. So it's like, but I'm scared of that endemic thing Cedric said. So we all gonna have it eventually.
Not you. You get your shot.
You get your shot. Look, there's gonna be breakthrough infection, but for example, Moderna is 88% still effective at preventing infection, right? That means you don't even get the virus. Pfizer is 68% effective. J&J is 55% effective. That means some people, a small number of vaccinated people will get infected by the virus and exhibit flu-like symptoms, cold-like symptoms because of where the virus replicates. But because of being vaccinated, it stops there. You don't develop the disease COVID-19. You don't end up in the hospital getting pumped with all kinds of drugs. That's the big difference. The vaccines still are 99% effective at preventing hospitalization and death. That's a fact.
Great point.
Okay.
Hey, I wanted to say something else. When I knew y'all was not really crazy about this stuff.
Let me say one more thing. Let me say one more
thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So y'all heard this debate where everybody talking about how President Biden, he's making it, I think, to where it's gonna be a massive vaccine mandate. And I don't
federal workers.
I don't know, like a racial thing, but like I've seen a lot of these people that say that that's unconstitutional. They got the complexion for the protection for the collection, like Paul Mooney said. And is that like anything wrong with the COVID vaccine mandate Biden trying to push? I mean, like I don't see nothing wrong with it, but I just want to
think of it like this. This is the most simplest logic you can use, right? your employers, right, are going to give you something that's going to kill you. Think about that. The government is trying to mandate you to take something that's going to kill you. Then who's going to work for them?
Who's going to pay the taxes that pay them?
You understand? Like, why would a company fight to inject you with something that's going to kill you?
And fuck their money up. That's just
it's like that.
Like,
yeah, like come on.
No, they trying to chip us. They trying to put the chip in us.
Right. White Walker, the biggest chip of them all. Go ahead,
right.
Peter.
You're right
Go ahead.
I was finna say, man, that night y'all got on Wuja ass, bro. I was down laughing, bro. Cause, bro, I'm like, hold on, man.
Calling Wuja.
That's straight friendly fire. How is it? This man is an advocate for vaccines, but because he wasn't in lockstep, like 100% hopping to it, like y'all damn near was about to goddamn fly that boy head, man. I'm like,
he ain't been back yet, Haskell.
Calling on Wuja. Calling on Wuja. Has he gotten the shot yet? Has the antibodies waned from the testing? Calling out Wuja. Calling Wuja.
And so I'm like, damn, he one of y'all. Y'all was like, I'm like, God damn.
He was us. We vaccinated.
Maybe vaccinated, yo.
So confused.
Yeah, Wuja playing game.
We playing game. So you don't understand that, yo. If we advocate this, right? If we didn't debate it, the top notch anti-vaxxers, like people act like we didn't debate the top notch all out white boy crew. Like that happened. Had a scientist on the team, had a movie maker that wrote all the anti-vaccine books. So if you do all that, yo, you can't do that. Like that's not good, yo. That's not what we do. So if you're one of us and you're not, we just want to know why. What's your good reason? I mean, we have a right to ask that, yo. We don't play that. Well, it's my personal shit. Well, then don't talk about none of that shit then. And I'm not saying Wuja. I'm just making a point, dog. I ain't gonna sit up here, yo, and talk about scientific literacy, but sneaking the herbs all day long. I'm not gonna say I'm an atheist, but every night I go home and pray to Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, y'all tried to kill Sinetta.
Yeah.
That man he said he didn't feel good, and all these crazy folks sent them all kind of elderberry, and you know what I mean? It gave him a whole, he said he had tons of that shit. He said, yo, the community then looked out for me. You know what I mean? He was praising these motherfuckers. And it only took one person to say, man, take your ass to the hospital. It was man. Brother Unc again. Man, take your ass to the hospital. You got goddamn COVID, man. He was sitting up in the house about to die, talking about he had more.
About to drink some nice soup.
This nigga sitting up in the house.
Can I sue for this, y'all?
Talking about he had mold.
Look.
In the middle of a pandemic, he came up with everybody else around him. New York City was ground zero, right? He came up with fuck all that. He ain't got the go. Ain't no way he got that. I got mold. But he stayed in the house.
He had video evidence. He was in the bathroom filming. He was wondering if he could sue for it.
Cedric, he just pulled the covers up.
He said he was given the herbs by the herbalist, but then the doctor was like, "What
this nigga took a video. Hold on. He took a video in the bed, right? And then he got out the bed. He said, I want y'all to see this. He showed the picture of his bathroom. He said it was water damage and it had mold in that motherfucker, right? But he stayed in the goddamn house. The nigga got back in the bed in the mold contaminated house and pulled the covers up.
That shit probably probably saved his life. Kill some of that damn COVID. Couldn't get him like this. The mold that killed that damn COVID.
I said, yo, our people are nuts, yo. I mean, he said he had mold and stayed in the house, yo.
Give medicines for niggas named doctor that ain't a damn doctor and shit.
Damn. Like, yo,
Yo,
we
what's
are
the name of the video?
geniuses.
Yo, what's the name of the video? Because anybody find the video so we can play the rewind on the video.
Yeah, it was on one of his lives. I don't
Wait,
think you can find it because you know he
might
like
have
to
took
do
it
leak
down.
stuff.
He ain't take it down.
He must have took that down. He must have took that
It
down.
was a quick, like little, like you know, one
Yeah, a
of
little
those
short video. He was wondering if he could sue for this, y'all. Y'all look at this, y'all. Y'all look at this. I got mold in the bathroom. Can I sue for this?
And
Can I sue for this family?
he was like, his wife made us some good old tea. He about to drink
Some
that.
chicken noodle soup.
Yeah. Yeah.
But did y'all hear what he said about the herbs though? Because he asked the herbalist for some herbs and stuff to take.
Y'all tried to kill Sinetta, yo. Like, I hope y'all feel bad, yo. I hope y'all feel bad. Y'all tried to kill that man, yo.
He said that
You know what was crazy, yo? When he was walking through the house showing the mole, right? I was realizing that he was having shortness of breath, right? I was like, man, he not sounding right. Y'all know how Sinetta sound. And you can tell when the person can't really catch their breath. He was like, mold. I was like, that ain't mold. I said, I understand what black mold is. It's not going to take effect that quick. I was like, so when he closed his shoulder, I called him. I said, yo, that ain't mold, nigga. That's coronavirus. He was like, what? I said, yo, go to the hospital. Come on, I'm going to go in the morning. I said, all right, nigga, go. Next morning, he went. He called me and said, yo, damn, yo, I had COVID. I said, nigga, I told you. So 2 days passed, right? I said, how you feel? He was like, man, this shit is wild. I said, yo, go back and tell them, I said, they got treatments for it. Go get that shot, that antibody shot. He's like, come on, some people sent me herbs. I say, nigga, this ain't the moment in your life where you start playing that herb shit. I say, this ain't it, dog. I say, yo, stop being, I said, you's a selfish ass nigga. You got a wife, you know what I'm saying? You got kids, you got a fan base that fuck with you, and you sitting over this bitch on some herb shit with these cooks you be fucking with. I say, take your ass back. I said, you have a compromised immune system, my nigga. I'm gonna go. And he went, yo, gave that nigga that shot. A day later, he was like, yo, thank you, dog. Appreciate that. Now, the nigga still ain't got the motherfucking shot. He playing with fire.
Hey, that's the monoclonal antibodies,
Monoclonal,
right?
yes, monoclonal antibody.
Yep. He only need one shot, though. This one they don't realize. If he just get one shot at this point, yo, he'll have better immunity than niggas who caught it, right? And didn't get one shot, and those who got vaccinated. He only need one.
With both shots. Yeah, against those who got vaccinated with both shots, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, ain't no way in the world, yo. Come on, yo. We talk fun, talk shit, and have fun. But I don't want to see Inky die. I mean, I might laugh if he get fucked up from the COVID, but I don't want to see him die because he got family. Yo, I don't want to see young Pharaoh and Sadie and all them get fucked up and we can't at least beat their ass up on some bullshit information. I don't want to see that, but I know they ain't gonna die if they take the vaccine shot. That's all I'm saying. Simple as that, yo. So look. Y'all can do what y'all want to do because I'm the nigga gonna say I told you so.
I told you so.
Yeah, I'm gonna told you so.
I told you so. Yeah, I rub it in. I rub it in. I throw salt in the wound. I kick you when you're down. I warn you. Yeah.
And unfortunately, I've been doing it already. It's sad, but
I don't want to have to do that to nobody.
It's gonna take them.
I'd rather you niggas just go ahead, take the vaccine. No, I'd rather the government come in. Right?
Yeah, but Chef,
with guns and them big black
dictator, but you want to put a gun to his head.
Yeah, Chef, your ass a dictator, boy. I don't want to see you with no power, boy.
Yeah. If I was the president, it would be no discussion. Y'all wouldn't have to listen to Unc ever again.
I'll stay away.
Y'all wouldn't have to listen to Unc ever again.
Yeah.
I say, bro, you did a good job. I got it from here. You know what I mean? And SWAT team will be jumping through y'all windows, you feel me? And beating y'all ass. The only thing y'all will be screaming about, y'all wouldn't be able to scream about coronavirus no more. Y'all will be screaming about y'all human rights was violated. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing y'all will be able to talk about is I violated your human rights.
Violated Penal Code 7893, kicking somebody doing and giving an unlawful shot.
Right, I'm the violator around this.
Hey, you know, unfortunately,
hey, y'all know America got a history of that, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
I should play that, yo. They got a history of kicking your door down, yo, and giving you a motherfucking shot, nigga. That's in American history, yo.
It would
make
take
America great again.
like that, though. Like,
it's time to make America great again.
Yeah, it would take like a big name Pseudo, right, to contract that and go out bad, and on his way out, he make that statement like, you know what, bro, like I should have. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it's gonna take, sadly, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But
they're gonna have to see one of their guys, their main guy, go out bad with, you know what I'm saying, on that.
We can start with the Mexicans, though.
Those guys are vaccinated.
They ain't legalized citizens. We can start with them.
You really think Robert F. Kennedy be traveling all about meeting all these unvaccinated people?
I'm saying start with the illegal aliens.
You jump
this
that
guy
fence.
say vaccinate the illegal aliens
start
first.
with them. Start with them. You jump that fence.
But yeah,
you jump that fence, you getting the jab.
But it's weird that they don't vaccinate. Why they not vaccinating the illegal? That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Start with the Mexicans. You jump the fence, you getting the jab.
Nah, but Chef, you know this vaccine mandate don't apply to them, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But what is it?
You got to start with the mandate on them. You violate their rights first, and let niggas see what it look like. You feel me?
Yo, you wild, bro. You a wild dude, bro.
I'm just saying. I want the best for y'all. I want the best and the worst for y'all.
You wild, bro. hey, is Brother Malcolm still on the panel? I wanted to ask him something.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Malcolm, stop me if I'm incorrect here, right? But the last time I read up on this, on the CDC website, I believe the number is 95% of all COVID hospitalizations and deaths have at least 1 to 4 comorbidities. Am I correct or incorrect on that?
I'm not exactly sure what the number is. I have not looked at that recently.
Great question.
Right. So my follow-up to that was going to be,
here you go.
In terms of how y'all I don't know if you know how your particular hospital collects the statistics and the method behind how they determine. So for example, how do they demarcate between a person who has COPD or pneumonia from conventional
how do you remember all that shit and don't know a vaccine is safe and helpful?
Hold on.
How does that work for you?
Hold on right quick.
I'm just trying to, hold on, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm just trying to know, how do you know? I don't even know half the shit you're saying right now. How do you don't know a vaccine makes sense, yo?
The nigga's amazing, I promise
That's
you.
fucking amazing.
He's sharp as shit, yo. He played too much.
I don't think you play too much, dog. Yes, basically, how do these MCO39 morbidities and the such, how does that really, my nigga?
Nah, I feel you though. Let me.
COPD.
No. Hold on, Sid. Hold on, Sid.
He started giving the nomenclature COVAWXYZ. Like, dude, where you read that at, yo?
Nah. Hold on, right quick, Sid. What I was asking is, all right. So someone who develops pneumonia or they pneumonia is made worse by contracting COVID. How do they differentiate that person and somebody who just got regular old run of the mill pneumonia? How they do that? How they divvy
Lab
those
test.
numbers up?
Yeah, they can do multiple. They can do a lab test first. First off, they could test you to see if you're actually positive for the virus. And apparently, if you don't have the virus, then it's likely not a cause. But you do have multiple people who do have comorbidities like COPD, congestive heart failure. But those issues get exacerbated once they have the virus, right? And it starts attacking the same tissue where they're having those issues are. So, they do chest x-rays. They look for certain markers in the blood, elevated white counts. These are showing signs of a systemic infection. Also, if I'm not, I think I'm right about this. If you look at the, there's a graph, and it might be vital statistics or something that you can look at and see, like over the course of the years, where the trends are in deaths from certain illnesses, right? And if you look at it, the deaths for certain illnesses is still consistent with what it's been over the years. The spike didn't occur until you can see the spike increase where the coronavirus begins to make its way into American society. And so it's consistent with people still dying at pretty much the same rate they've been dying at COPD, still dying at the same rate, from heart attacks up until the point where the virus actually comes in. And then there's also, there was a doctor I was watching, God, I forget his name, I watched a minute ago. But there's a way that they have to code the cause of death when they do or perform those death certificates. They and the doctor kind of painted the picture about somebody having diabetes and also having necrotizing fasciitis. He explained how one is linked to the other, but initially the cause of death is cardiac arrest. But what started the issue was probably the necrotizing fasciitis. So it's a process in the way that they do it and review data on that person and then collect it from multiple patients, hospitals, and collect that stuff. So it's a process to it.
Yeah, it's like a person who falls over and bumps his head on the curb, and he has a blood. What's called the trauma with the head.
Yeah.
But we know he had a seizure.
That's why he fell. Yeah.
Right.
So you would say he died from the seizure.
And COPD is chronic. COPD is chronic and would be a known comorbidity that an individual have. Now, pneumonia is always an acute respiratory infection. And the evidence shows now, as a result of the lungs being the primary area in which the virus replicates, it causes infection whereby pneumonia develops. So you can die as a result of developing pneumonia in the lungs due to COVID-19 infection, or the disease COVID-19. I don't know if that all helps your question.
Nah, yeah, those excellent answers, particularly Brother Malcolm, gave me some insight.
Which is?
Something more I could go in and more look into, as far as how, hospitals do their data. The point that he made about the excess deaths. So if they look at a particular area and, you had X amount of deaths from COPD or pneumonia or heart disease or whatever, and at the onset of the pandemic, you see these spikes, so that's what, these are the things that I would look at, being someone who is of an opposing view of pretty much everybody on the panel. These are things that I would look at that are objective, that would help me to come to a conclusion. You know what I'm saying? If there's a new phenomena, right? Because this virus is a new phenomena, right? Ostensibly, if that is the case, then there should be a marked increase in excess death.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it only makes sense.
Hey, check the chat. I put the link to it in the chat. It's Dr. Schultz, episode 106.
We have almost 5 million deaths worldwide, which are directly associated and linked to being infected from COVID-19. The autopsies that are executed worldwide, all of these things. Now, what you're doing is looking at the disease or the areas in which COVID-19 is triggering death. We see heart failure as a direct result of COVID-19. We see pneumonia and lung failure as a direct result of COVID-19 infection. We see kidney failure as a direct result of COVID-19. We see brain fog as a result of COVID-19. We're detecting the actual virus in the brain tissue. So what you're actually analyzing is the associated causes of death, like Sosa was explaining. You fell on the curb, you bumped your head, you died from the trauma, but it was triggered by the seizure that you had.
Mm-hmm. Check your chat. I put the episode from YouTube in the chat from Dr. I think Schultz from MedCrown. It's episode 106. It's in the back chat. I'm sorry.
So again, when you're looking at this information and in terms of deciding upon the efficacy of the vaccine, I don't know if that is exactly what you're trying to analyze by looking at that data. But if it is attempt to analyze the efficacy of the vaccine, the main question you have to ask is, who is ending up in the hospital and who is dying? What is their status? Are they vaccinated or are they unvaccinated? Now, if you want to look at the vaccinated status, that 1%, now we're looking at primarily elderly folks with comorbidities, whether 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that is even more evidence of the efficacy of the vaccines. Why? We're seeing vaccinated people not ending up in the hospital and not dying. The 95 to 99% of all hospitalization and deaths are in the unvaccinated. What more information would be required to establish the efficacy of the vaccines in terms of preventing hospitalization and death?
Well, my question wasn't in so much in regards to the vaccine, but more so if there is an actual new phenomena going on, right? So you mentioned, I don't know if it was you or Malcolm that mentioned, well, it was you. You mentioned 5 million deaths. How would that, juxtaposed to, let's say, the last 10 years of death, how would that line up? So for instance, what was the death total last year? If it was 5 million or around 5 million, then how I would interpret that is there's no evidence of any new phenomena. But if the hold on, I'm gonna wrap it up. If it was let's say the death rate was for the last 10 years 5 million, and now since the pandemic started, it's like 6-7 million. You know what I'm saying? So that would be like a glaring evidence of there being some new phenomena going on. The excess death is what I'm saying. People just simply dying.
No,
for
okay.
me.
So that 5 million represents directly associated and related to the infection, to the disease COVID-19. That 5 million is extra. And when we look at that 5 million, we're going to look at the associated causes: heart disease, heart failure, lung failure, kidney failure, etc. We're going to look at the reasons for death, and is there a spike in those activities compared to normal, and they correlate. But what I'm even surprised about right now is that you're questioning the actual virus existing, or are you questioning the fact that people die as a direct result of being infected or having developed the disease COVID-19? I'm not sure as to where you're going with that.
I think he may be just playing devil's advocate for somebody who may have a question. I'm assuming anyway.
I mean, you know, I don't want to say anything triggering. Like, I'm being real measured with my words. You know, suffice it to say though, is, you know, I'm just going off the tack that you guys normally take on this panel. And I do appreciate that, which is, you know, scientific literacy, adherence to the scientific method, etc. And, you know, science is about exactitude, right? The science literally means to know. So, you know, whether the virus I don't want to go into that, but if it does exist, it would only stand to reason that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
let's not go down that road. Let's not go.
that's why I said
You just
I didn't
triggered
want
the
to use no
whole.
Don't go
triggering
down that.
language.
Don't go down that road right there. Like I done done this. We done done this with Haskell before.
Yeah, I don't want to use any
we done
triggering
whole
language.
shows on that. Yeah, that's what we
Said.
That's why he's
this,
trying not to travel down that path.
We're not operating in hypotheticals. We are dealing with a pandemic. That's a fact. We're not gonna create an environment where we are now going to do as if we're in a speculation mode. No, we're dealing with the fact that we have this virus. We have variants. We have an ontology now. We have factual information available to testify to the reality of this virus. So we're not going to play what if game with the virus. But there's too much ontology available to establish that as a fact. So, and now we have 5 million people that we know via testing, via autopsies, via pathology, via testing, that these deaths are directly correlated and related to the result of developing the disease COVID-19. Now, we're going to go from there.
Right.
But these are the facts. These are the facts. We're not disputing these facts.
No, I'm saying just not even go down that path of the argument.
Right.
Let's just move forward, man. Otherwise, we'll get
right. What I was saying is, like even something like gravity, right, which is a material reality in our universe or environment or whatever you want to call it, right? I think it was Einstein that said that any scientific theory has to constantly be reproven. Like, you know what I mean? In other words, there is no such thing as settled science. So what I'm engaging in really is an intellectual exercise. And I know some people will tend to be, not saying you, Cedric, but they'll be emotional about people dying and say, well, why are you engaging in intellectual and scientific bitches is dying? But my counter to that would be, it's in these situations where it's even more important to you know what I mean, to have that for lack of a better term, right, that kind of rigor from the quote unquote crazies like me. You know what I'm saying? Because it constantly forces science to constantly reprove itself. So I think there's fruit to be had in a person like me questioning certain things that are considered to be settled science. You know, I think
I have a dog. You're gonna question the reality of a dog?
No, absolutely not. I mean,
good. Why?
No, I wouldn't.
You know why? Because we have a foundation of ontology. We have books, we have breeds, we have dog shows, we have trainers, we have videos, we have Caesar Milan. We have a body of evidence to establish the fact that dog is real, right? We have an if we're going to exercise intellectual mind game, we're going to do it within the parameters of what we consider logic. So we have established the fact that we don't need to question the reality of a dog because of the body of evidence that exists. These are the parameters in which intellectual discussions can happen. So now, for example, reproving science, no. There's a body of evidence. A theory is what a theory is. What we're going to do is we're going to continue to build on what we have already established, and thereby might having to reevaluate eventually what we already knew. However, that is only done and always done within the parameters of science. It is not done within the parameters of speculation. So, having said that, we can only move forward with this intellectual discussion within the parameters of logic. And then we got to establish the fact that yes, we're dealing with a real life virus. It's a pandemic. 5 million plus people have died. So now we're going to operate from there. Whichever way you want to go, we can go from there. But we got to leave from an established parameter of reality. Otherwise, where are we doing?
Dip out too. Hey man, sure, that's a good point to the end of the show because I was about to dip out too. So man, anybody got any parting words before we ride out?
I do.
Go ahead, spit it.
Okay. To go back on Chief Friend's point about him being a despot if he was in power, right? Y'all should look at what the president of the Philippines is doing. I read an article. Look, y'all, I read an article like at least 2 or 3 months ago, and down in the Philippines, he said that, hey, I'm declaring martial law and curfew, right? So what he's doing is he said if you get caught outside past 9 p.m. or something, you getting shot. And, like,
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, y'all crazy.
he like I'm serious. Like I mean, it does when you think about it. I mean, it to like we living in a pandemic. 5 million plus people is dying and all that type of stuff. I mean, some people could argue necessary casualties, but like I mean, stuff getting too real out here. Like,
hey, that's supposed to be your wrap-up shot. You got it. Brought another thing. Supposed to be your parting words for the show, man.
Thank you.
Actually, got people.
Always.
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
Being scientifically literate is the vaccine against the pseudos and everybody else.
Love that phrase. That's pretty good. You're like a young son of an old ass man. That's pretty good.
That's what my friends tell me all the time.
That's my opening line.
Wrap it up. Wrap up comment. Final words there.
A great show. Peace to the chat. Like the show, share the show. The Pseudo Killas is where pseudos come to die. No herbs can cure nothing. It's a food. We out. Peace.
Yeah. We get a Brother Malcolm cameo and all that. Brother Malcolm.
Man, I always enjoy to be on the panel, man. If I could share any word of advice, especially since I'm pulling up to a lot of these houses, seeing these loved ones die from COVID-19. It's just essentially, man, that the vaccine is a teacher coming into a school to teach a student cells how to fight a warrior that looks like itself. So it's strapping the students up with that knowledge so they can handle the business when they get here. So, mask up. My advice: get vaccinated. Share this show with your family and loved ones. Let them know, man. It's do or die at this point. So again, I appreciate being on the panel with you guys, and I'll be listening in for the next show.
All right, for sure, man. Thank everybody for coming out, man. Pseudo Killas on deck, man. Get that jab, man, and we out.